Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel, and welcome to another model railway review video. And today I'm going to be taking a look at a new release, and I'm going to be having a look at one of the new EFE Rail range Beattie Well tanks from Bachmann. The EFE Rail range was first announced by Bachmann in their autumn 2020 announcements. In this range, they've been using toolings from other manufacturers. There's some models in the range that have been made by Helgen. There's even some models that were made by DJ Models, and there's also 1938 tube stock, which is made by Exclusive First Editions, which is motorised. Now, in the winter 2020 announcements in the EFE Rail range, they announced some more products for the range, and one of those items was 3 Beattie Well tanks, which were originally made by DJ Models, and they were produced exclusively for Kernow Model Rail Centre. I have one of those models, which you'll have seen many times before, and I think it's a good model. I had considered getting another one, so when I saw these being announced in the EFE Rail range in winter, I just had to have one. The one I've gone for is E85012 3298 in the southern green livery, as preserved. So here we are down on the layout, Foxhill Junction, where the Beattie Well tank has been unboxed. And my first impression with this model is it looks absolutely beautiful. Straight out of the box, there were no quality control issues with this model. There was no detail bits that fell off, they had to be glued back on again. There's no damaged detail parts on the model. And this model runs well in both directions. It works straight out of the box and it runs as smooth as silk, as you can see here, which is good because this is exactly what you expect from a model when you first buy it, because you shouldn't really at the end of the day be paying all this money for models only to then find when it gets to you it's either got quality control issues or it doesn't work straight out of the box. And so I'm rather happy with this model. So in front of you we have both of my Beattie Well tanks. We have the original model made by DJ Models, which was produced originally for Kernow, and then we have the release from this year, which is the EFE Rail range version. Now both models have the coreless motor. Now I don't have any problems with the motor personally, because with the original model, the DJ Models one, I've owned this model since 2017, and I've not had any issues with the way this model performs at all. And any load that I stick behind the Beattie Well tank, it does it without any hassle at all. The EFE Rail range version, I have no problems with the way it runs at all, because they both run superbly, so there's no complaints from me there. One thing that is different about both Beattie Well tanks is the outside motion. All the side rods and the valve gear on the EFE Rail range model are all made of metal. On the original release made by DJ Models, the outside motion is made of plastic and painted. It still does the job, but it's not as nice to look at. So the outside motion on the EFE Rail range version, being made out of metal, is a little improvement made to the model. Other than that though, the original DJ Models tooling in the EFE Rail range is otherwise unchanged. So now we're going to take a look at the detail on this model. First of all, we have plastic unsprung buffers. We've got rivets on the buffer beam, and you can see the loco's running number 3298 crisply applied there on the buffer beam. We've got separately fitted lamp irons on the running plate and just above the smoke box door, as you can see there. We've got separately fitted smoke box door darts on the smoke box door, and we have some rivet detail on the smoke box door as well. Now, one interesting little feature with the smoke box door is that it's designed to be removable, as it was on the original tooling made by DJ Models. Now, the thinking behind that is that basically the smoke box door is held in place with magnets, and all you do is you pull off the smoke box door, and behind the smoke box door there's the socket, so you can pull that out and fit a DCC decoder. And the idea is that it makes it easier for those who have DCC, so you don't have to take the body off to fit a DCC decoder. So I do like that Bachmann have kept that feature on with this model, and it's a clever little feature, I think. On either side of the smoke box door we have separately fitted lamp irons, as you can see. This model has a separately fitted handrail, as you can see. It's fitted on the boiler, and like on the prototype it runs on the side of the smoke box, and then it goes up and over the top of the smoke box door. On the sound boxes we have some very nice pipework detail. Now, this detail itself, it is moulded, but I'm not fussed about that because it's painted and it looks really nice. Just above that wheel splasher there we have a spring which has been separately applied. Also on the smoke box and on the boiler we've got some very nice detail there which has been separately fitted. We've got some very nice steam piping detail which runs just on top of that sandbox there and the wheel arch, and it runs up to the whistle. And the whistle is also separately applied and it's been painted, which looks very nice. We've also got some glazing in the cab windows, and the window rims, they've been painted in a brass colour, and that does look nice. Now, for me, the thing that really stands out with this model is definitely the southern green livery. As I said at the beginning of the video, the reason I went for this particular one is because of the livery, because it stood out to me. I think it's a very eye-catching livery. I could have gone for the BR Black version, because then I would have had a pair of Beattie Well Tanks in BR Black. But the green livery, I like the green livery. It's different, and it also adds some livery variety, not just in the loco fleet, but with the pair of Beattie Well Tanks as well. And I just think the green livery on this model looks absolutely gorgeous, and I just fell head over heels in love with it the moment I saw it, and so I had to have it. That's the reason I went for the green livery. And for the livery itself, the livery is spot on. There are no imperfections in the livery anywhere at all. It's a very nice even shade of coat of paint, and it's a beautiful shade of green as well. And the lining on the boiler bands and on the sandboxes on the cylinders, and even on the cab, even on the footsteps and everywhere else where you see the lining, it's all been crisply applied, and the printing on that is second to none. And then you've got the loco's running number 3298 and Southern, which have been crisply applied on the bunker and on the wheel arch, and again the printing is just spot on. Something else that stands out with this model is the black dome with the safety valves, which you can see on the boiler there. And I think the black dome really does set this livery apart, and it really does lift the livery, I think, in my opinion. And of course I nearly forgot to mention that the wheels are painted green as well, and they just look superb. The interior detail inside the cab has also been painted as well. It might not be the world's best painted detail in the cab interior, but it's still painted. You've got the regulator, the lever, the gauges and the dials. It's all painted, and it's still nice to see that the interior of this model has been painted. On the rear of the model you have a wealth of rivet detail on the rear of the bunker. You've got the loco's running number 3298 crisply applied there. You've got separately fitted lamp irons. You've got a coal load in the bunker, which is plastic, but you could scatter a real coal load on top of that if you wished. And you've also got some fire iron holders on top of the bunker as well, so you could fit some of the fire iron details that you get in one of the detail packs with this model. So that brings me on to the end of this review for the EFE Rail range Beattie Well Tank. So, to sum up my conclusion then, this is a great little model. I absolutely love it. I've fell head over heels in love with this model, and I'm glad that I paid the money for this model as well. And to be able to have 2 Beattie Well tanks in the fleet, it's made me rather happy. And this is a model that I do recommend you get if you're modelling the southern region, or if you're like me and you just love your southern region locomotives, then the Beattie Well tank is a must. But if this is a model that you'd like to get and try it for yourselves, then I would definitely still recommend this model. I mean, it is a great little model and it's definitely worth the price, and I'm glad that I paid the price for this model, and I'm glad I bought it. So I'm over the moon with this model, to say the least. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get both of my Beattie Well tanks running on the layout. I'm going to split my China clay train equally amongst the two, so that you'll see both running around on the layout with a China clay train each. But before I do that, I've got to get a coupling put into the EFE Rail range Beattie Well tank. But thank you for watching this review, and I hope you've enjoyed my review on the EFE Rail range Beattie Well tank. Don't forget to subscribe, and feel free to hit the like button and leave a comment. Don't forget to check out all my other videos I have on the channel as well, and I'll see you again next time, where hopefully I'll be reviewing another new release product. But until then, stay safe and take care. Ta-ra.